Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, July 20. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin is reporting a 2.6% growth in the goods-producing sector for the January to March 2021 quarter.
This was mainly attributable to higher output levels in construction of 10.5% and mining and quarrying of 7.1%.
Statin's Director General Carol Coy was speaking during the agency's digital quarterly briefing recently. Ms. Coy says COVID-19 and the measures used to curtail the spread continue to negatively impact the island's economy. There has been a 2% decline in the agriculture, forestry and fishing sector, while the manufacturing sector saw a 1.1% dip in output.
The decline in agriculture was due in part to dry conditions in some of the major producing areas, coupled with the aftermath of the damages sustained to agricultural lands due to the heavy rainfall which occurred in the fourth quarter of 2020.
Except for producers of government services, all other subsectors in the services industry experienced contraction. They include hotels and restaurants, transport, storage and communication, wholesale and retail trade, repairs, installation of machinery and equipment. Jamaica and Kenya have signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) to collaborate on research and development in tourism destination preparedness, management and recovery. The first such partnership between both governments was signed on Friday by Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett and his Kenyan counterpart in Nairobi. The Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, located at the University of the West Indies Mona campus, will spearhead the implementation of the project. Minister Bartlett lauded the joint venture between the UWI-based facility and the Kenyatta University to collaborate in forecasting, mitigating and managing risks related to tourism resilience caused by various disruptive factors. He says the MOU is particularly relevant as leaders navigate and respond to the challenges brought on by the ongoing pandemic. Mr. Bartlett is in Kenya for the Tourism Recovery Summit for African Ministers of Tourism, where he was invited to speak on tourism resilience and recovery. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says more time will be spent on improving the systems and processes of the Constituency Development Fund, the CDF. Mr. Holness asserts that steps have been taken to ensure that the fund meets all the public accountability standards.
We have ensured that the last review of the CDF was a good review, and we intend to do further reforms and improvements of the CDF. It doesn't mean that you will get benefits any quicker, even though we are attempting to ensure that that is done, but we would be able to guarantee that the resources that are allocated are efficiently spent.
Mr. Holness made the comments on Friday as he handed over a 3-bedroom social housing unit to Donnet Henry of Farm Pen in St. Mary. Ms. Henry's children also received tablets from the Prime Minister's Positive Jamaica Foundation. Mr. Holness says the government is looking to adjust the social housing program to include improvement grants where it's possible.
We will try to work out a proper balance depending on the type of constituency as to whether or not we can shift some of the allocation away from the actual building of a unit and supporting some of the grants for social housing improvement. It's something that we have to look at very carefully because we don't want to detract from this program and the transformational impact that it is having.
And still on social housing, a vulnerable Westmoreland family of 6 is to receive a house through the Ministry of Local Government. The mother is an amputee and one of the daughters has been diagnosed with a rare disease that prevents her from walking. Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie visited the family last week.
I'm committed and I've asked the mayor to ensure that we expedite the construction of a 3-bedroom unit. I've asked him to, when the necessary plans that the ministry will do has been submitted, that he walk it through to ensure that you have no challenge, because people should never live in this condition.
In the meantime, Minister McKenzie says the Westmoreland Poor Relief Department will continue to take care of the family, which is also on the program of advancement through health and education path. The local government ministry is now looking for a new property to relocate the Trelawny infirmary. Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie says the current location is prone to disasters such as flooding. In the meantime, the Hague Primary and Infant School has been identified as the temporary holding space for the infirmary if the need arises.
Trelawny is one of those parishes where your infirmary, based on its location, will have to be relocated if we are impacted by any major system. And I am more than pleased with the arrangements that have been put in place to facilitate the relocation of the infirmary if it becomes necessary.
Mr. McKenzie was speaking at the recent monthly meeting of the Trelawny Municipal Corporation. And finally, Transport Minister Robert Montague says immediate measures are being implemented to get operators of public passenger vehicles to use the Linstead Transport Centre. Minister Montague says there will be greater collaboration among the police, the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation and the Transport Authority to get the operators to comply.
We are also going to be having permanent presence of the Transport Authority officers based at this transport center, permanently. They will also be working with a special team from the police and from the municipal authorities.
Minister Montague was speaking with reporters after a meeting with stakeholders at the facility last week. He says a register to record the usage by operators will be instituted at all transport centers. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.